Alright, so it's Saturday evening and we are starting our next project, which is the coat slash mini mudroom by the back door. We usually just had a board up with a few hooks and a little shelf up there, but we are making a bench and some cubbies and a little more storage, hopefully, for all of our crazy kids by the back door, so they're not tracking mud through the house. We've already got all the material. We purchased 1x3s and 2x3s and some 1x4s and a little bit of plywood, and that is the material we'll be using for this for now. So Dylan has made our shelves about 18 inches high, so there's room for backpacks and gloves and things like that to be shoved in there. This little wall is going to be great because it'll keep everything contained over there. Right now things kind of just spill out, shoes and stuff like that, so hopefully a wall right there will keep everything in the area it's supposed to be. We ended up using 2x8s for our bench seat and for the upper shelf. We did have to take off the door frame. Okay, so far this is what we've got. Shelf up top, some cubbies, bottom shelf, the bench part. So this is all secured to the ceiling now, and I'm going to start working on filling in, filling in some holes, patching some holes on the wall from the old coat hooks, and we'll get that going and maybe start staining and priming today. We will see. Alright, so this morning I am working on my shelves. So I actually sanded and did a test stain on this one yesterday, but today I'm going to finish sanding the rest of these boards to the top shelves of the bench, and then also the bench seat itself. I'll have to go sand over there since it's already secured. So that's kind of the plan for now. I'll also be trying to prime the rest of the wall and all that so that I can get that going, and staining trim boards. So I've got a busy day ahead of me with lots to do. Alright, so next thing I've got to I've got this board sanded, so I'm going to start staining. I did, like I said, do a test board yesterday, and I am going to do a second coat on it today just because I would like it a little bit darker than this. You can see it's a little bit lighter color, and I'm hoping for a bit of a darker finish. So I'll do a second coat to this one, and before I stain this one, I do need to wipe it down because I got done sanding it. So just a towel with like a little tiny spritz on there. I don't want my board to be wet, but just enough to kind of wipe any of the sanding dust that might be hanging on there still. So just wipe that down, and then we'll get going. Okay, so I just got done. This is the test board I did yesterday, and I just did a second coat on it. This is the board I did today. This is just a single coat. You know, I don't really see much of a difference in the darkness of it. So I think, I don't know, maybe a little bit right there. This stain I let sit for 5 minutes on each board before wiping it off. So, and I'll kind of go through here and see how it dries. I just barely wiped it down, so once it has had a little while to dry some more, maybe I'll see more of a difference. And that could determine if I do 1 or 2 coats on the rest. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, so here's both the boards now. I did decide to do 2 coats. So those are going to dry, and while I wait on those drying, I'll go start sanding and getting my first coat on the bench side. Alright, so unfortunately these boards are already secured into the bench, so I'm going to have to stain them where they are, which is not ideal, but we will make it work. So we'll do just the best that we can. Alright, so I got the benches done. And now I'm moving on to the trim. So I've got some door trim here, and I've got just some finish end pieces to cover up the ends on the benches. I went with a kind of a whimsical little leaf pattern because, you know, what's life without a little whimsy? So that is the next thing. I'm going to get these all stained. Once I'm done with these, that should be everything I'm staining today. And then I can go on and put on my sealant to protect these things from the chaos that goes around my house. So let's get some staining finished. The stain really soaked into these boards a lot faster than the big boards. I was putting it on and wiping it off as fast as I could to keep up with it. Okay, so my stain is all set and dried. I'm going to do the polyurethane now. I'm just using satin polyurethane. There we go, from Bear. And I'll get that coated onto all my stained trim and shelves and bench. And then it will be time to just kind of wait and let that dry. And I think tomorrow I'll tackle painting. So I have a few boards to cut and things like that to finish up the grid on the back of my bench. So I think this is gonna have to be another day, but I'll be happy to have the stain done. Alright, so yesterday I took a day off because I got a flu bug. But today I'm back at it, and we are going to get everything ready to be primed and painted today. So I've got to run out and make a few cuts for my vertical slats here, decorative. So I'll go to that, and then we'll be in here for the rest of the day painting and getting that ready to go so we can see what the color looks like once it gets on there. I really hope to get at least my first coat of color on today. Oh, it is cold out here, like 15 degrees. So I'm gonna try to hurry and get this done because I don't want to be out here any longer than I have to be. Alright, so this is how it's going to look. I've not secured these to the wall yet. I just put them up there to make sure I did my cuts right. So it's all looking pretty good. I am going to come in and sand the ends, and there's a few of them that need sanded on the sides a little bit just because they got some rough edges and things like that. So I will get these sanded, and then we'll use some liquid nails and a couple of real finishing nails and get those put up. Then it's time to paint finally. Can't wait. So at this point, my camera storage really started to run out of space, so you are now going to get just a photo book of how the project progressed. I primed it, covered up my seat so I didn't ruin it. Here's my paint. It's, I think it's called Downpour or something like that is the color. But it really took kind of a lot longer than I thought, getting all those little nooks and crannies. But we did end up getting it done in one day, so that was good. I did do 2 coats. Okay, so here it is. All the trim is put on, my hooks are put up, and then because I'm a maniac, I just could not stop painting. I had paint left over, so I just kept on going right around the hallway. So right on to the next project, I guess. See you next time.